On Just One Station, teens race to the rescue when a car crashes into a canal.
Tonight, the community giving back, offering a reward and words of thanks to these young lifesavers. The pair wasting no time jumping right into the water to help.
Now they're being hailed as heroes. Another team's Michael Hudak is in North Lauderdale with the exclusive now. Michael?
One mother who had tragedy hit her family in a very similar situation to what happened here on Wednesday night was so compelled by the original 7 News story that she showed up here in person today to personally thank those 2 young men.
What's your name?
Tony Cooper.
And you are?
Elijah Hodge.
Tony and Elijah, 2 13-year-olds turned heroes who did not think twice about trying to save a life.
I feel great. I feel happy.
The boys were walking back from the Dollar Tree across West McNabb in North Lauderdale when they saw a Toyota truck barrel into the canal Wednesday night.
Then we ran across all the traffic.
And then they just jumped into the water. They just went into the hood. One of them went on top of a hood, and the other one was in the water, trying to pull the men out.
Started screaming at him because he was heavy while he was in the car. We screaming. He woke up. We helped him get out of the car.
Caller advised that the man is getting out of the vehicle and is on the embankment.
Just feet away from where they helped save this man's life, a ring and a sign with a young man's picture. Aiden Perry, who was 17 years old when he jumped into a lake when a car crashed into it near his Sunrise home back in 2022. Aiden hit his head on a rock and died trying to save a life.
I couldn't believe it because it brings back that night. I mean, I could relive that night every day. But they are extremely brave to do what they did, and I'm so proud of them. I don't think they realized the risks that were involved. And just like my son, they didn't think. They saw somebody that needed help, they jumped in. That's what a true hero does.
Aiden's mom, Sarah Perry, has made it her life mission to place more than 300 of these rings next to bodies of water since her son's death, along with a message, throw, don't go, encouraging heroes like Tony and Elijah to attempt throwing these kinds of rings into the water before jumping in themselves. So when she saw their story, she wanted to show up and thank them in person.
It scares me to think what could have happened to you.
And teach them a valuable lesson that could end up not just saving someone's life in the event of an emergency, but their own as well.
Where's my boys? I just want to say thank you from my heart to your heart.
This 7 News viewer named Nancy was so compelled by the story as well that she showed up and offered the boys 2 $250 checks.
I am just so proud of you boys. Thank you.
Samson Borgelim, the mayor of North Lauderdale, released a statement to 7 News specifically about these 2 young men. I want to read part of that to you right now. I am incredibly proud of these young citizens and their heroic efforts. I will be reaching out to them and their families to formally recognize their bravery. On another note, the man who crashed into the canal on Wednesday night in that Toyota truck was unresponsive when he was pulled out of the vehicle by the 2 young men. He is now in stable condition. We are live in North Lauderdale tonight. Michael Hudak, 7 News Night Team.